everyone, and welcome to my morning report chart analysis videos on Thursday 15th of February with me, Rich Market Analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got an interesting move on markets. We've seen dollar significantly weaken in the past day. There was a big focus on the US CPI data yesterday. Big volatility actually in the numbers. There was a slightly higher than expected CPI inflation, but it was interesting that the market sort of reacted initially with dollar strength, and then significantly sold off the dollar. I think mostly because of the fact that there wasn't actually an uptick in inflation. The inflation was basically flat. It was expected to be down slightly, but there was no real sort of tick to the upside. So arguably you could see that yields continue to pull higher. That 10-year yield up to 2.90, that's a 4-year high, and the 2-year also as well. But generally speaking, the markets took that as a sort of as a positive, really. And what we have seen is equity markets, especially, sort of gaining heart off the back of that. The Wall Street indices have certainly regained a bit of upside initiative. The S&P 500 up 1.3% into the close, and certainly this recovery that we've got on Wall Street is helping to sort of regenerate a bit of confidence. You've got the VIX volatility, which is sort of equal and opposite really to the S&P 500, and that's falling quite sharply, so that will continue to support equity markets on a rebound. But this dollar weakness is a factor as well, and the volatility seems to be sort of draining out of markets and helping to sustain moves against the dollar, whereby the euro is stronger, sterling is stronger. You've also got Japanese yen strengthening. That is down at 106 handle. That is a significant downside break now on dollar yen. I'll take you through that analysis in a bit. But also we're seeing across the board on these majors the dollar under sort of pressure again. And gold is appreciably higher as well. We've also seen the oil price, which has started to regain a little bit of upside traction as this dollar has started to weaken again. So lots going on today, but we're sort of focusing on a little bit with the PPI. We had the CPI yesterday, but we've got the PPI, which is the US factory gate inflation, this afternoon. It's not showing up on that first board. This afternoon we've got the PPI, which is expected again to tick mildly lower on the core and headline, so it'll be interesting to see if that is the case. We've also got the Philly Fed business index expected to remain strong, and also the New York Fed as well, which unfortunately is not on that board, but is expected to again remain pretty strong. Not only that, we've got the industrial production at 215, which is again expected to show growth of around about 0.2%. Sorry, excuse me. And so a bit of US data this afternoon, which could have an impact on these markets. Sorry, just clearing my throat there. And so we've got a little bit of US data that is going to be focusing on the markets. But I mean, in terms of charts of the day, I've got the FTSE 100, which has certainly turned around again. I mean, what we've seen is the S&P 500 and the Wall Street markets bottoming out. We've got this little V-shaped bottom on the S&P 500, and it seems to be showing through on the FTSE 100 as well. We had a nice bullish engulfing candle yesterday, leaving support of a high low at 7145. Pushing out above the 23.6% fib level, which had been resistance yesterday. So we're sort of seeing higher lows and higher highs now. And it looks like the FTSE is on the way to retracement. Now, retracement being that the fact that 7300 is initial resistance, 7289 you could argue initially, and again there was a spike high at 7311, so that gives you a couple of resistances, but 7300 is a basis of resistance. Now, moving clear of this 23.6% fib, you've also got 38.2% fib at 7350 area. So that was probably the next target area, and you can see that recovery taking shape in the momentum indicators. Very slight positive divergence on the RSI, MACD line seemingly bottoming, stochastics ready to turn higher as well. although not yet confirmed. But it certainly does look as though we're starting to rebuild on this FTSE 100. 7200 was a basis of old support, which had become resistance on a couple of occasions earlier this week. But now breaking through that, we've seen that basis, becoming the basis of support again. That old resistance becomes new support. Yesterday's low 7145 on the spike down in the wake of initial wake of inflation, but then the market has regained a bit of momentum. So it certainly looks as though even the hourly chart is regaining a bit of upside poise. Look at that RSI on the hourly above 60, MACD lines above neutral. These are all factors that had been sort of providing a basis of resistance previously. So there is an improving outlook on FTSE 100 technicals, and it certainly looks as though little intraday corrections are now being bought into. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading, and I will speak to you later.